But there's things that have been going on in my life in the last few years that have helped me with my anxiety, helped me face a lot of my fears. I have this plethora of phobias. And the Lord has brought some things into my life over the last few years that have helped me face a lot of these. And I keep coming back to Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Our prior martial arts school, that was one of the main things that they taught. It was up on the board. It was, what was it, the class motto, which was really interesting. So I prayed all week long. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I didn't know where to go with this. And I was sitting there at work, and I realized it was literally right in front of me. We have started a karate school here, and I had, a few negative comments. Well, the people I work with have negative comments about everything, about opening a karate school in a church. So right there on my desk in front of me, I had the 7 virtues of karate, which our sensei has another dojo in Duncan, and this is on his window. The 7 virtues of karate: honor, respect, integrity, loyalty, courage, compassion, and honesty, which I kind of thought it kind of ran into the fruits of the Spirit. It doesn't exactly align with them, but there's a lot of them that do. So first I looked up the dictionary meanings of each of these words, and then I looked up biblical references. And no surprise, every one of those words is referenced in the Bible in various places. And basically these are all virtues that are aspects of your character. And if you can build these virtues, it'll create a good character. I'm so bad at this. So there's honor, which the dictionary defines as high respect, esteem, or a privilege, or to fulfill an obligation or keep an agreement. In the Bible, we have John 5:23 that says that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. There was several in Psalms. Proverb 21:21 was one that I really liked. It said, whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. Then we find several references in the various places where he reiterates the Lord's commandments. Honor your father and mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God has given you. And then another one of my favorites was Psalm 62:7. My salvation and my honor depend on God. He is my mighty rock and my refuge. Respect, the dictionary has a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. In the Bible, we have 1 Peter 2:17, show proper respect to everyone, love the family of believers, fear God. Ephesians 6:5, which it talks about slaves, but like in the karate, in the dojo, you can apply, students. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, just as you would Christ. Integrity, the dictionary, doing the right thing, basically, even when no one is watching you. 1 Kings 9:4 says, as for you, if you walk before me faithfully, with integrity of heart and uprightness, as David your father did, and so do all I command and observe my decrees and laws. Luke 6:31 says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And defines integrity even better than, just doing the right thing when no one's watching. Loyalty is the quality or state of being loyal. In 2 Samuel 15:21, we have as surely as the Lord lives, and as my Lord the King lives, wherever my Lord the King may be, whether it means life or death, there will be your servant. And he's saying loyal even to death. Courage was the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. And of course, number one is Philippians. We have 1 Chronicles 22:13. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. Deuteronomy 31:23. The Lord gave this command to Joshua, son of Nun. Be strong and courageous, for you will bring the Israelites into the land I promised them on earth and on oath, and I myself will be with you. And there was actually several references to courage in the Bible, which I should, probably try to read more. Compassion, sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with a desire to alleviate it. Deuteronomy 13:17, then the Lord will turn from his fierce anger, will show you mercy and have compassion on you. Honesty was fairness and straightforwardness of conduct. 2 Kings 12:15, they did not require an accounting from those to whom they gave the money to pay the workers, because they acted with complete honesty. Genesis 30:33, and my honesty will testify for me in the future. Okay, now, even though character wasn't one of the 7 attributes, I did look up the definition, and it says one of the attributes or features that make up and distinguish an individual. And there's Romans 5:3-4. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character, and character hope, which you were talking about, and Mary too, going through suffering. First Corinthians 15:33 says, bad company corrupts good character. I have a little quote. I put all these little quotes all over my desk to kind of help focus me when the negativity gets way up here in the office. And one of them was, ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them.
That's good.
So, yeah, I have all those little quotes to try to block out that negativity.
You don't really want to be on the
Stop it, you're messing me up. Okay. Now, and there's a few places where it's talking about character in the Bible, where it precedes character with noble. So again, I looked it up. It's possessing outstanding qualities. And it's like our sensei keeps telling me, God can use you for more if you are of noble character. If you possess the qualities that God is looking for. And we go back to the 7 virtues of karate: honor, respect, integrity, loyalty, courage, compassion, and honesty. And then it kind of, as I was reading over these things, and I wrote down a few other words that I felt kind of fit in with all of this, but also led into the fruits of the Spirit. But there was one word in here that I've been hearing a lot from God that actually isn't in the fruits of the spirits or in these virtues, and it's forgiveness. And it's something that I've struggled with, and I've had people that have wronged me, and some of you know that I think it was about a year ago maybe, I went to a women's conference. Didn't want to go because I didn't know anybody there. Someone invited me and had bought me tickets, and I went, and it was good. The first day was fun, and we sang and we learned some songs. It was really great. And the second day, it was a live simulcast. And now I don't remember who the speaker was, but she was talking about forgiveness and the way the Lord forgives us. And I'm usually a very reserved person, especially around people I don't know. Spend my whole life stuffing things down and hiding it from everyone. But I cried out to God, and I said, how can you forgive me for the things that I've done, for the people that I've hurt, for, these things that are just, to me, horrible and unforgivable? How can you forgive me for these things when I can't even forgive myself? And he told me, as plain as day, in my ear, I already have. I already have, and now it's time for you to let them go. And for the first time in my life, I was brought to my knees in a church surrounded by strange people, sobbing. So it's been a work in progress, but over the last year, I've learned to forgive myself and let go of these things. And I've found that in that process, it's become easier to forgive those who have wronged me too. So, it's funny how I started out wanting to talk about these virtues, and I was struggled with talking about them without seeming like I was promoting our dojo, and applying them to your everyday life to build your own character in your everyday day life and the people that you meet. And then it led into this whole thing about forgiveness. And when I get up here, you should just put a box up here, because I'm going to cry. Oh, Gabrielle's there. Get the tissues. Guinevere's not allowed to pick movies anymore. I watched one last night. Yeah. Anyway. So it's taken me this long to share, a whole year. I think it's been. It's taken me this long to share that word because it was so personal and so powerful. And if we can just keep that in mind, that quiet, calm, gentle voice saying, "I already have." There's nothing that you have done or you can do that he can't forgive you for. If you reach out to him and cry out to him. And hear him say, "I already have." And I think that's it. I'm done.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a good word. And I like how you got to forgiveness through those, because when you start talking about character, and those are all facets of character, we start talking about good character. That is eventually where it leads you, is into a process of healing. So thank you for sharing that. And I hope you guys hear that. You don't know how many people I've talked to that, well, God can't forgive me. And I usually, you're probably right. Blood of Jesus ain't that strong. It covers everything. Yeah, come on.
No, like
Part
I
two.
forgot part two. No, I completely forgot this because I get so. Yeah, it's on page 32. Some of you know that joke. The lady that actually invited me and bought the tickets for me to go to this conference, we actually met up afterwards, that night afterwards, and we just went to the reservoir and talked, and, I confessed. I told her things that I'd never told anybody, because they were so horrible, I just kept them buried really deep. And I poured it all out. And then she told me her story, and I felt like she was repeating mine back to me. And that was another, that was like confirmation where you're not the only one. You're not alone. Everybody's done stuff that they're, that they feel is unforgivable, that they're ashamed of. And you're not alone. So.
It's good.